I started Shepard Law Firm in 1998 with the goal of helping people who were exposed to toxic substances and who developed cancer and other diseases. And for the past 20 years, our firm has represented people with mesothelioma, lung cancer, and other diseases caused by asbestos, tobacco, talc, and other toxic products get the justice that they and their families deserve. I'm hopeful that this case and the resulting verdict can pave the way toward a shifting perspective on the nature of addiction. The Summerlin case is different because it's the first time that I'm aware of that someone has tried both a tobacco and an asbestos case as one case. A tremendous amount of effort went into bringing this case to trial. We were essentially trying two cases at the same time. We were trying an asbestos case and we were trying a tobacco case, both of which in and of themselves are incredibly complex cases. In Mr. Summerlin's case, the jury was shown evidence that by manipulating the amount of nicotine and by adding menthol to the cigarettes that Mr. Summerlin smoked made it harder for him to quit, and were an explanation for why 50 years of smoking and trying to quit, he was unsuccessful. The factors of this case that made us believe that we could be successful at trial were that Mr. Summerlin started smoking in the 1950s as a teenager before any warnings went on the packs or before any warnings were issued to the general public, and that the cigarettes that he smoked contained menthol, which both contributed to his addiction and made it more difficult for him to quit smoking. It was also the fact that he smoked 3 brands of cigarettes over the course of his life, so he was fairly brand loyal. He tried many times to quit using all of the various aids to quitting that were available to him at the time, and his doctors documented that in the medical records. A tremendous amount of research and investigation was necessary to prepare this case for trial, because we had to document not only the asbestos exposure, but we also had to show what was going on with the tobacco industry and the cigarettes that he was smoking that the public didn't know about. That involved going through thousands of pages of tobacco documents in order to find out exactly what was known by the tobacco industry at the time that Mr. Summerlin was both starting smoking and continuing his smoking.
Let me begin my questioning on the matter of whether or not nicotine is addictive. Let me ask you first, and I'd like to just go down the row, whether each of you believes that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction.
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not addictive.
After 4 days of deliberations, the jury came back with a verdict in favor of our client for $13 million of compensatory damages and $30 million in punitive damages. Even though in this case, the asbestos defendant was not held liable, I would encourage anyone with lung cancer who has multiple exposures to contact an attorney.